trying to explain bipolar to my family is very difficult. They are, scientists and mathematicians and physicists, and everything's got an answer. But I will say, one time I was volunteering at Art 6 in Richmond with some really beautiful people, including Henrietta Neer, and she and I exchanged a painting. But I put on a show, and I invited people that I thought might want to show, and they did. I had a lot of people show their work. It's a big space, and I hung my work. It was a lot of work. It's my first large show, and it was my show, my show. And the dog was fixed up very special, and I think she looked like a David Bowie, like man that fell from Mars kind of thing. So we did that, but wrapping all the paintings correctly, I cut my leg. I was in my garage studio, and I cut my leg real bad, and I got 9 stitches, and I really didn't have anybody to call to help me, so I just drove myself there. And then I went by this place called Corporate Art Museum, and Joseph, a super nice guy, and he said, just cut your cardboard. You can cut your cardboard here for that. Don't worry about it. So he let me use his equipment. And anyway, so we did the show, and the band was playing too loud, and it was hurting this little girl's ears. And so they wouldn't stop. I said, stop, lower it. And I was manic. I mean, I was definitely suffering. Probably would have handled it differently. They got really mad at me. The band got really mad at me for pulling the plug. But so anyway, the moral of that story is, a few days later, I went to our meeting. We're having a council meeting at Art 6. And I went in and I just screamed at them. Because I was just so overboard and from the stress. But we had artists there doing that. I apologized. I saw them later, and I was like, I'm sorry I did that. It was no problem. They totally understood, and there were no hard feelings. So that's really a welcoming thing for someone who suffers. And because if you feel like you're annihilated or excommunicated from the family or community, it's very painful. Very painful. It's hard to connect with people when you're symptomatic of a mental health issue, and those are the times you need the connection the most.